Is he still worth it?
Tom Cruise came in at #1 for our 2006 celebrity list. He really blew us away because there was a backlash. As everyone knows, there was a real anti-Tom Cruise backlash in 2006. But on the flip side, he made more money than he's ever made in his entire career. So between box office receipts and DVDs, he made in total $67 million that year.
He's made very clever choices. He's a brilliant producer in partnership with Paula Wagner, and they really know what's going to work. For instance, Mission Impossible was a moribund television series, and Tom just figured that, there needed to be a James Bond American film, and here was a format that was already there. So very clever to figure that one out. And the first 2 films made $1 billion. But even before that, when he was making decisions about Born on the 4th of July and The Last Samurai, which the studios were turning down, he knew that there was an audience for them. The Last Samurai had an enormous audience in Japan. It took over $100 million in Japan. And Born on the 4th of July was such a compelling story that people went to see it. So he almost was against conventional studio wisdom there, which is you had to have a best-selling book or you had to make a sequel to make money. I really respect that part of him. Good judgment.
Tom Cruise is still the gold standard of the world for bankability. He is, despite all of his problems, image-wise, that he's had, a hugely bankable star.
Coming up, can Tom cut it as a serious actor? And the controversial beliefs that have ruled his life.
It's too much about Tom Cruise, the Scientologist, and not enough about Tom Cruise, the actor.
Tom Cruise has earned millions from his films, and his intense, passionate performances often beg to be rewarded. His career has spanned over a quarter of a century. However, he is still taunted by that elusive golden statuette that would validate him as a serious actor.
Every actor, especially a box office draw like Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt, wants to win an Oscar because it gives them a certain legitimacy.
He plays the game. He goes along to the Oscars. He's been nominated 3 times. He likes to present Oscars as well, and I think he will continue to do so. I think he would like that sort of credit because his acting is very often underappreciated.
Although Tom Cruise is stuck mainly to the mainstream sort of films, the summer blockbusters, he has every once in a while gone off that and starred in films that you would call Oscar baiting. So of course he got nominated for Born on the 4th of July, a very political film with Oliver Stone. He got nominated again with Jerry Maguire, and then of course a smaller role in Magnolia where he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor, although he's never won.
I don't think by any stretch he's going to be given a Best Actor Oscar based on his body of work as an actor, as a talented, range-filled thespian. I just don't see that.
Maybe it's that he's rather more feared than popular in Hollywood circles, and that's why they don't want to reward him at the Oscars.
When one's sort of predicting Academy Awards, you have to really think, how are they thinking? And it's as simple as this. They don't like Scientology, and Tom will never win an Academy Award.
Tom's involvement with the controversial Scientology group is complex and has been an enduring relationship dating back to the beginning of his career. Pioneered by 1960s science fiction writer L. Ron Hubbard, Scientology is based upon the story of how souls of aliens came to Earth and have been affecting the human race adversely ever since.
When he was 25, Tom married Mimi Rogers, who was a film star and a good bit older. She had been married to a Scientology instructor. Her parents were Scientologists, and she was very much a Scientologist. And there's no accident a young man looking for a philosophy should perhaps be caught up in that one.
Tom Cruise was dyslexic growing up. He also was moved around from home to home all through his childhood. He had sort of an abusive father. So all those things combined, I think Tom definitely had a difficult childhood. I think Scientology, he feels, has given him a way to maximize his potential, deal with his dyslexia, deal with all the things he had, struggles growing up, and reach his ultimate potential as a human being.
You know the important things in life, and life will deal you some blows, and kind of set you back. But as I said, also I'm a Scientologist, and there's things in there that have helped me and given me great comfort, and certain tools that have helped me out in my life.
It was after Tom fired his publicist, Pat Kingsley, in 2005 that he began to open up about his relationship with Scientology. During his promotional tours for War of the Worlds that year, Tom now had free rein to say what he wanted, and his eagerness to spread the word about his beliefs soon culminated into impassioned rants on primetime chat shows.
For years and years, Tom Cruise didn't make any issue about Scientology, and he kept, I think his publicist told him, don't mention it, don't talk about it. And more he started talking about it, and he starts, basically lecturing people. I mean, when he was on the Today Show with Matt Lauer, he was like screaming at him, and it turns people off. I mean, nobody wants to be, lectured about religion.
I think Tom sees the practices of Scientology as running in tandem with the increasing success of his career. It would be a tremendous irony that since he's now started holding forth about it, his downfall would be Scientology as well.
I think what's happened, though, in the last few years is that people have started to question his sanity. They started to question, what's real and what's fake in his life. And ultimately, I think it's too much about Tom Cruise, the Scientologist, and not enough about Tom Cruise, the actor. And he's lost that sort of anonymity that all actors need in order to be able to, to watch a movie and lose yourself and believe this person is someone else. He's almost become too famous.
With an image that has been dented in recent years, will Tom be able to regain his place at the top of Hollywood's most powerful list? With a new publicist in tow and a temporary clampdown on public appearances, how is Tom planning to reinvent himself next in order to end the freak show and reclaim his waning audience?
There is something brewing. He's got a couple of projects on the go and has been spotted out and about in Tinseltown, having private lunches and dinners with comedy writers and also with Spike Lee, fueling speculation that he's not only going to produce one serious film, but he's also going to produce a rom-com. So perhaps Tom Cruise is going in a whole new direction now.
Tom Cruise's career is not over, not even a little bit, in no way. He's huge. I mean, at some point he'll do the interview, which is like, what happened, Tom? What happened? What happened to you? Why did you do that? He'll do that big interview for someone, Vanity Fair, GQ, I don't know, and it will sell masses.
Tom Cruise is what I call, in the surveys that we do of the people who put money behind stars, he is 100%. He's gone down a little bit to about 99% bankable. What does that mean? It means that Tom could stand on his head in the middle of Santa Monica Boulevard and read the Quran in Turkish. Somebody would pay $80–90 million to make that movie without a script, without a director, without co-stars. Just Tom. That's bankable gold.